Hey guys, I want to show you my favorite type of pins today, and that is swirl pins, a variety of different brands. I love them. They're just fun to add different color effects to your writing, and some are multiple colors at once, and then others take even a few pages to change color, but I love swirl pins of different kinds. And then my next favorite is scented and then glitter pins, and glitter everything else. But I love swirl pins enough to have a pin case just for swirl pins, and then I also keep them in my normal pin case, and I'll show you a few of the different types. I'll show you the pins themselves first. These are the SuperMarble pins, and these came out earlier in the year. They were popular in the 90s, and then they were discontinued for over a decade, and I've been wanting them the past few years, so I was really excited when they came back. And there's 4 colors that are in that set, and then next here is the rainbow swirl pins, and these came out also this year. And there's a set of 8 of these, and I've gotten both of these packs multiple times, so I really like both of those. And then over here are some pins that the exterior shell is pretty similar in a few different brands. These are in what I lovingly call the ghetto pin set. I can link that below if anyone, I've had a few people ask about that, but it's a 50 pin set that's, I've seen go on sale for as little as $7, so I do like that set. It's got 4 of these in it. And sometimes the lids will be translucent, and then sometimes they won't be. But the Alex Toys pins also makes these in just a set of 4 swirl pins. Sometimes you'll see these at Target, and the lids on those are translucent. The colors are pretty similar, but sometimes they're a little bit lighter. But I'll show you the actual swatches of the inks after I gaze at the fun pins. I love swirl pins. It's just so fun to have pins change color while you're writing. It just kind of makes you want to keep writing for a little while sometimes if you're desperate for inspiration. Anyway, I'll show you the swatches here. So the first of the pin sets is actually an unbranded one, and these are just swirl pin China refills. So these were cheap, and they are really swirly, which is cool, but they do skip more noticeably than any other pin here. But I'll show you the colors up a little bit closely if I don't knock the camera stand. Alright, so first off is the pink, purple, and blue pin. My favorite in this set is definitely the pink, yellow, and blue set. That swirl is more noticeable than pretty much any other swirl pen sets that I have. It's very noticeable. The downside to these are that they do skip a noticeable amount. If you're writing fast on a page, you'll notice a skip at least every page, or at least I did. If you're drawing slowly or you're writing slowly, it's more conducive to that than writing quickly. So the swirl is definitely really cool in these. There's enough of a skip that I haven't used them all that much, but I do like them enough to keep a set of those on hand. That pink, yellow, blue is really cool looking. Then there's the purple, green, and blue, and there's 6 different varieties on these, and they just come in straight of refills. I put them in other pin bodies that I'd already had around here. The purple, green, and blue is pretty cool. And then purple, orange, and blue, orange, green, and blue, and then green and blue. Well, the outside look green and blue is kind of a yellow green mixed with blue. That one's really pretty light. But that pink one, I guess I'll show you them all in while I knock the camera stand. Yay. Okay, let's hope it stops doing that in a second. Yeah, I buy too many pen refills and swirl pens to get a good stand. But this is a good enough set that I would, if you write slowly or you're patient and you don't mind an skip every now and then to get the cool effect, might be worth a try. But yeah, that is some cool swirlage going on. And with all of these pins, the swirl is a lot more noticeable on straight up bleach white paper like this. This is a Lisa Frank composition notebook with just bleach paper. Most composition notebooks have just straight up bleach white paper like this. So that makes the swirl more noticeable. And then also, light beige paper, you can also notice the swirl enough that I would spring for a swirl pen for. If the paper's too beige or too yellow, it's just kind of not so noticeable. So yeah, these are the Lolly Z and Alex Toys swirl pens, which the outer shell just looks like these. And I didn't notice this much of a color variety when I was using them. It depends on the pen. Some of the pens are dark like this and some are light in both sets. But the Alex Toys is kind of a bit of a lighter color ink. So let's start off with the Lolly Z swirl pen. So both of these sets, and generally the ones with this outer shell here, take a lot longer to swirl. It's not every letter swirled like the rainbow swirl here or the SuperMarble pen. It definitely takes a good amount of time for these to swirl out. And sometimes you can be writing with the same color for a few pages before you really notice any swirl at all. Here's the purple pen. You see no swirl here at all. And the pink pen is pretty plain too. The green pen here, there's more of a swirl. So definitely it takes a lot longer to see a swirl, which can kind of be fun if you are going for that. I mean, if you're writing a handful of pages, it kind of makes you want to keep writing, see what color it'll end up. So it's fun in a way, but I haven't used these really since this variety came out because I like seeing swirl in every letter. But depending on what you're going for, these are kind of, it has variety anyway. I mean, you're writing with one color and then eventually the color switches, even if it takes a few pages. So I was really excited that the Alex Toys pens and the Lolly Z or whatever, my ghetto pen set, were available when I got them. I want to say I got them about a year or two ago, before either of these sets came out. So I definitely was glad to have some swirl at all, and I still have a set around just because it's kind of a different type of swirl instead of each letter always being swirly. Sometimes you'll have like normal writing for a while, and then sometimes it'll be more swirly. Here you can see a bit of a swirl. Some letters are green, some are blue, so that is kind of fun. Actually, it's really fun. But I definitely like each. I like super swirliness, so I don't use these quite as much. Here's the Alex Toys set. That orange pen on the top had some yellow in it, and you can't really see that. The blue pen's pretty light, and I couldn't see much swirl in these, but you have to definitely write a few pages before you really see much of a color change. So I'll let you look at that for a second. I put washi tape over that because I don't remember why. I was using the wrong thing, I think. And then, let's see. Oh, okay, these are this set here. And these are really fun looking. I like how they have all the colors on them like that. It's fun to look at knock the camera stand 20 times. They're fun to look at. I mean, they're the most brightly externally colored, so that's really cool. And they have a cushiony grip. I just like the colors, and it's fun to look at in a pen case. But I'll show you the colors here. Some of them are light, especially if you compare them to that China refill set. So the pink one here, it's pink and purple, and the swirl is definitely more noticeable on bleach white paper and looking at it up super close. But I have bought these a few times, so I like them enough to do that. And sometimes I'm a little bit more swirly than that. Here's a light magenta. This one's more noticeable. It's got some pink, kind of purpley blue, and orange in it. Then the orange pen, it's got some swirl one going on. The yellow one's pretty light, so I don't actually write a whole lot with that. I've got the flash one right now, so if you're looking at it from a bit further away, it's a little lightly colored, and I prefer to be able to actually read it easily in the dark. I like everything in the dark. But anyway, here's the green pen, which has no green you can really see. But there is purple, blue, pink, and orange in that. I mean, there is some swirl happening there. Hopefully you can see this decently. Yeah, from a distance, it kind of, most of the swirl pens look pretty plain. You kind of have to, if you're lying in bed or something, or sitting up close on a desk, you can see it a lot more noticeably than if you have bleached paper. Here is the blue pen. My pen is blue. Yeah, does anyone remember that movie at all? Anyway, this has a little bit of variety in it. The purple pen is one of my favorites in the set. A little bit more noticeably swirling, and same with the magenta. That one's probably the most noticeably swirly in the set. It's got green, purple, and orange in it. And then here are all the different pens used swatch-wise. So I'll leave this here a sec. And these are 8 pens for $5, so I like the price. And there's really enough that they're fun to use. I mean, swirl pins in general don't last as long as like a G2 pin or one that's really known for lasting a long time, but it's fun enough that I sprung for them. I think I've had like 4 of these pin sets that I think I've used up, well, I guess I've used up maybe 2 or 3 sets. I have a few on hand too. I like having extras of these because I like them enough that I want to make sure I have one just in case any of them just get discontinued, like the SuperMarble ones again. So yeah, the next up is SuperMarble pins, and they have these out in 4 colors now. They used to be available in 6 colors in the 90s, but now they're only 4 colors. But when you get these, you need to write a few pages and expect it to just be plain color for a while. Because when I first got these, I wrote a few pages, I'm like, seriously? And they were just plain colors. It was boring. But after you write at least 2 or 3 pages, maybe a little bit more, they'll start swirling out and being really cool. So I've used up at least 3 or 4 packs of these already since last summer when they came back out. And I love them. I have more sets than I'm going to admit that I have on hand. I have 1 in every pencil case that I have right now. So I have like, I think 5 sets. I use them up pretty fast. I mean, I've been using these as my main pen pretty much all week. So some of them I've kind of worn down. But you can find them on sale. I've seen sets of these for as little as like a little over $3, which is pretty good. Good for swirly funness. And I like where I get them below because they're that cheap. And this is the only set that has sheen in the ink. So I'll show you the ink on these. I've got a flash. I'm going to have to actually turn the flash off for this one. Oh, well, this will work. Or just turn the page. It's like 3 a.m. Who doesn't talk about the swirl pins at 3 a.m.? So first off is a yellow pin. That one's pretty swirly. Oh, and when you get these, you definitely want to write a few pages first. It takes a good 2 or 3 pages of writing a pretty plain color to be able to start seeing the swirl. When I first got them, like, I was, writing it looked like just normal plain ink. I'm like, seriously? But keep writing at least a handful of pages, 2 or 3 pages in normal ink, and then you'll start seeing the swirl. I definitely like the blue pen. It's got, my pen is blue. It's got pink, orange, and blue in it. So yeah, if you're looking closely, you can definitely see the swirl in that one. And then the pink pen is also really cool. It's just pink on the end. So this one's got orange, blue, and green in it. And you can see the sheen here. But yeah, these are really neat looking. Here's all the pins, just playing with my pens. And you can see the sheen in the ink, which is nice. Other pen types don't have those. I'll show you the swatch again. I want to say my favorite is probably the pink pen. Well, the yellow pen's actually really nice. Which is your favorite out of these? I like this one because it's got blue, yellow, and pink in it. And I had a bedspread / room theme with blue, yellow, and pink once. So that one is nice. But yeah, these are pretty consistently swirly when they swirl. It's it's a noticeable swirl. It doesn't take a few pages of writing to get to the swirl. Except when you first get the pen. Definitely write a few pages before you throw it out. When I first got them, I was pretty unhappy until I wrote at least, a few pages and they started getting swirly. So write through the normal ink on the top first, and then you'll see the cool swirl. That sounded creepy. But yeah. Here they are once more. Yellow pen, green pen. Green pen's kind of blah compared to the other ones I actually wrote on here. This pen is lame. But yeah, this is what when I first got the pens, I made these swatches. The green pen actually, might as well give it a chance. I've actually written with it more. So once I started actually writing with it enough, it's actually the same pen. Yeah, that is the same pen. Oh, I actually wrote, update, finally swirly. So the pen does swirl out. It takes a few pages of this, just plain writing, to get to the cool swirl here. But yeah, there are my swirl pens, and it's cold and crap in here, so I'm going to turn the heater on. But yeah, definitely my favorite types of pins, just swirl pins in general. I would say that the SuperMarble and the Rainbow Swirl are my favorite types, but these other cheaper swirl pens are cool for especially, different, when you really feel like writing a lot, enough to handful of pages to see the colors start changing. But yeah, there's my colorful crap. I want to show you a few other types of rainbows type pens, and the first one is Tutti Frutti. These things I haven't used in probably a year, but I bought them about a year and a half ago. I went through a few packs of them then. I used to actually open them up and swirl the inks. It'd be kind of a swirly darker color. It was kind of like a mauve peachy purple blended together. But these write in pink and then yellow, and then there's a little bit of variation in color change between the two, but it's mostly like straight up orange, straight up purple, and like just layered out like that. They are lightly scented. I can't smell this one anymore, but when you first get them, they're a little bit more scented. You do have to put your face to the page to be able to smell them. But yeah, this scent seems to fade over time. They are pretty cheap. Actually, I've come really cheap. For 6 pens, about a little over $4. So, and these write pretty well. If you're writing fast on journal paper, there is a little bit of skipping, but it actually likes this copy paper a lot better. So I thought I'd show you this on copy paper. But yeah, there's a little skip even on this. If you start writing really fast, it'll skip more. I mean, you can see a noticeable. But yeah, if you have copy paper that you want to write on, these definitely work a lot better on this just kind of thick copy paper than it does on journal paper. So I don't use these a whole lot, but they are happy looking, unlike me, and they're really cute pens. So I like having at least one of these, even though I don't use them a whole lot anymore. The yellow is pretty light, and so is the green, so I can't see those a whole lot. I like to write in yellow when it's like a darker yellow and you can actually see it, but these are not so much. These are probably more for coloring and stuff. But if you want to color on copy paper, or you have kids who want to color on this kind of thick copy paper, this would probably work fine. On journal paper, like the Piccadilly journal I'm using now, there is a bit more of a skip. And there's a ton of skip with this Tinkerbell pen, which is sad because it's really cute. It's got a heart on the lid, and it says Tinkerbell with a feather. It's pleasantly scented. It kind of smells like, kind of more perfumey. It's a very light scent. You definitely have to stick your nose to the page, but the ink in this is a little bit more blended, kind of ombre-like. And in journal pages, I cannot get this. I was using a Oberon journal with the journal that comes in it, and I could not get this to write well in there at all. I used up another one of these, and I just doodle all over the page, and I have to go over a lot of stuff like twice to get it to work well. It's actually working a lot better on this copy paper here, so I might just use it on kind of craft projects instead. But you can see some skipping going on there. In the Piccadilly journal I'm using now, it skips every letter. It's just ridiculous. It's the most frustrating gel pen on Piccadilly and Oberon paper that I've ever tried in recent years. And it's really cute, but I mean, on normal journal paper, it's just not happening. But yeah, there's some skipping even going on in copy paper. And I do have it pretty hot in here. I put this in front of a heater just to hopefully get it to work better. And it does work better after you stick it in front of a heater and on copy paper, but that's not really something I like to do just to get a pen to work. But if you live in a hot climate, or you just use copy paper type, or this kind of thick, kind of grainy paper a lot, you might have better luck just in normal use. If you start writing fast, you see even more skip. But in a journal page on Piccadilly, I was just seeing it skip literally every letter. Like, it was never that frustrated with a pen. So your luck might vary. I don't write on copy papers. If you do, and you live in a hot climate, or you want to put it in front of a space heater before you use it, these might work well for you. I don't know. Personally, I don't really use this much. It's really cute. I mean, it looks nice on my pencil case, but it just takes a lot of effort to get them going, and I don't like that. Too much effort to get it going. It's not good. These right here, this is a China refill that I just put in a normal, just cheap pen. And this skips enough. I wrote like 5 lines in a Piccadilly journal with this. It skips enough that it kind of made me not want to finish the page in writing. But the color effect is cool. I think I'd just use it if I was doing something slow, like slowly doodling. But that's on Piccadilly paper, and what I'm using now. And the same thing over on paper that I was using last summer. But again, in front of a space heater and on this copy paper, it's actually a lot better. It's not really skipping right now. And the effect is really cool. So, I mean, they're not my go-to Swirl rainbow pen, but they're doable if you use copy paper and a space heater. Because who doesn't want to do that to get a pen to work nicely? And I've also been warming it up. I've been writing, like I've been scribbling a lot too. So that definitely helps. So if you want to use something like this and you can't get it to write, space heater, scribble a lot, and use this thick type of copy paper. The next, yeah, that's great. The next one is this, and I haven't seen these available individually, which is a shame because I really like the darker colors. The yellowness looks like you'll be able to actually see it or read it, and same with the green. It's just nice. But this comes in one of those cheap sets of large pens, and this is just one of them. So you'd have to get like a set just to get one of these pens. But this one writes nicely, and it's glittery, and it writes fine in my Piccadilly journal too. So this one's really fun. I plan to use it. I'll probably use it up this week. I wanted to wait till I was kind of getting on a writing kick, so I'd write a few pages so I'd be able to see the color change. But yeah, these write in straight up purple, then straight up blue, then straight up yellow, like each color individually. There's a little bit of a gradient color change between them, but not a whole lot. But yeah, I like the glitter, and this writes fine even before you're doing the whole space heater copy thing. The lid is kind of awkwardly hard to get on. But yeah, here are these rainbow stacker pens. And I know a lot of people like these Tutti Frutti, and a lot of people mention these before the SuperMarble pens came back out. And I do like them. They are cute. I like to have one in a pen case, mostly just to look at. But they do write alright, especially in hotter weather. So some of these I might just save for summer and write outside or something. And use on when I'm using some kind of thick journal with a thick paper in it. Or maybe just use some construction paper for craft projects or something. But yeah, here they all once more. Tutti Frutti, Tinkerbell. The pen is really cute. I wish I could get these to work well in my normal journal without a space heater and scribbling forever. And then the China refill inside, just the other type of pen plastic body, and then this one. And the most exciting thing I'm going to show you is these vintage SuperMarble pens that I finally found. I've been wanting a few years, or 20 years. But on the left is the new version of them, and on the right is the old version from the 90s. And the new version is more plain. The old version had the little flowers and hearts and star type of little designs on the lid. And the ink looks more varied than the old one, but they actually write pretty much similar. I mean, it looks really pretty much the same to me, which is nice to see. The 1990s version's on the left, and then the new version's on the right. The old version had 6 colors, and the new one has 4, but the colors in the swirls are similar enough that I can't say that I really can tell which 2 are even missing. They're very similar to me, but yeah, here they are. The pen lids are different. The colors on the end of the pen, but the actual colors within the ink swirl itself are pretty comparable. If I write enough with the old 1990s one, I can do a comparison and show you pages I've written with between the two if anyone is interested. Here are the 1990s versions with the 6 colors. I wrote out which colors in each, and then what's on the lid. One had kind of bears on the lid, little flowers, stars. The right ones are definitely, the old ones are really a lot more cute to me, but the new ones are a little bit more gender neutral, I guess. Here's my swirl pen case, this opalescent thing. I put all my different swirl pens in here, and here are the old and new side by side. Yeah, it takes a while to get them out, I guess, but yeah, I'm doing a voiceover. So here are the 2 sets, the 1990s on the left. The exterior of those is definitely my favorite. The ink is more patchy looking on the side, and it's just more colorful looking, even though they write pretty much the same. Little stars, flowers. And then the new one, the lids on the new one are kind of random. The blue and pink kind of, I don't even know what we call that lid. But yeah, there are my Swirl pens, and here is a 1990s style What's My Pen case. I got this Lisa Frank pen case just like the one I had as a kid this year. And I wish I still had the old one. I had it up until more recent years, but my family's house ate it, literally. But yeah, SuperMarble pens. I've got some vintage Milky Lunar pens here, some Jelly Roll discontinued baby color, pastel colors, and some other fun stuff I'll show you. My 1990s like childhood self is like squealing over all these things I'm about to show you. And I do actually use these pens, even if they're discontinued. I want to enjoy them while they still work, and some of them haven't been around. These ones from the 1990s, I mean, are probably 15 years old and they still work. So that's cool, and I just like all the little decorations on them and how patchy the ink looks on the exterior. Then I've got some metallic Jelly Rolls I've used for on and off for years. These are my 3 favorite colors of them. And then here are the pastel Jelly Rolls, which came in, I actually got these a year or two ago. They were vintage. They haven't made these since in at least 15 years. They came in fine point, so I think that's kind of why they weren't as popular as their normal colors. The metallic colors of theirs are popular, but the pastel ones were kind of a fine point. So I took out the fine point, I took the nib off and put a medium point nib on them. So I actually have probably the only medium point pastel baby color Jelly Roll pens in the world. So that's kind of fun. And then these Lisa Frank Dudes pens I've been wanting forever. So I found some of those and they still work. They're ballpoints. And you can actually carefully refill those too, which is cool. This one I've had since I was a kid. It's Sanrio pen. And these right here are color exchangers. I've been wanting to try ever since I heard about them. They write different colors depending on if you're writing on black or white paper, like dark or light paper. So yeah, that pink pen writes pink on one color paper and then blue on the other side. So the cap of the pen is the color that it will be. And then here are Milky Lunar pens. These actually still work. A little skipping because they're like 16, 17 years old, but that's impressive. And I do plan to refill these if I use them all up. They have cute little stars and moons and stuff. And yeah, 1990s happiness. So yeah, there are my goodies, and here's that package. Here's my package of the 1990s pens versus the new one. The old one's definitely more cutesy. But yeah, I love having a variety of pens, and swirl pens and scented glitter, anything kind of more different, more unique is fun to try, especially if you're used to using like normal plain office pens or school pens. You have to write into like, normal blue, black, dark colors all the time. These are a nice variety to add in. So yeah, let me know if there's any 1990s pens that I'm missing and should add to my collection, or if you have these or had these and which were your favorite. And have a good night. Bye.